Hello, my name is Maggie Stewart, and welcome to the first episode of the Pop Culture Mix. I'm so excited for this. I do want to just thank WIUX for giving me a chance to do this and just like being able to just talk about stuff I like. And so for today, I'm going to be talking about one of the most like popular shows of all time. You love it or you hate it, but if you read the title, you realize I'm going to be talking about Sex and the City. So, making it very clear, I haven't watched it all. I technically started at like season 4 of it because I got a call from one of my friends being like, Maggie, do you just want to like come to my dorm and like watch Sex and the City? Mind you, I'd never seen it before. So I've watched like weirdly like all of season 4 and like half of season 5, but season 5 is only like 8 episodes, so. But yeah, so this is just like little things that I'm noticing because my roommate and I got really into it. I mean, like we finished like the entire season in, like the span of a day. It was like a Sunday and we were like, we don't really have that much to do. So we just binge watched it. So yeah, I'm on season 2, episode 12, and the reason I'm stopping there is because I feel like it's such a like formative moment for a lot of the characters. I mean, so many relationships fall apart, so many like characters come to like a realization about stuff that I'm like, I've been noticing so much so far, so why not go for it? So I'm going to have quite a few points for this. I'm going to kind of be like talking about like the girls and like kind of like how some of their personality traits I've seen in other women I know, especially me myself, and why like I feel like the show's just oozing with estrogen. I love it so much, and like every single time like I talk to like anyone about it and like a girl hears about it, she perks up and she's like, oh, you're talking about Sex in the City. But I think that's beautiful that so many women just love the show because girl, me too. Like why like the plot's kind of relatable and like why like it works really. I will say right now that I am going to be talking about Carrie a lot just cuz she's so interesting and like obviously haven't seen that much, but I don't understand the hate right now. I know that's subject to change because I kind of got spoiled, but it's okay. I feel like to start like characters off, I have to talk about Samantha. I feel like Samantha Jones is probably the most iconic character in this series. She's 10 years older than the girls and she acts a lot more mature. And that's in multiple different ways, girl. But she's a PR publicist. I think she runs her own PR company. She started it when she was like 30. She's made a name for herself in New York by being like a successful businesswoman and her openness when it comes to sexuality. I think that's really, really cool, especially like in a time, especially right now, where it's like we're going to like more conservatism with our women and like this generation especially. And I'm like, you see a character like Samantha and she's so open about it. And like now that would be kind of like frowned upon, but like back then she rocked it. And I think that's really, really interesting. She's bold, she's sexy, and she's so sure of herself for like the kind of person she is. It's great. She knows what she wants and how to get it. I feel like she's someone I would want like to be in when it comes to confidence because like I said, she is Samantha Jones. She's no one else. There is a moment, I think it was early season 2, where this kind of like came to like bite her in the ass though, because she ended up sleeping with a guy who had a wife. She's accidentally done this a couple times because obviously most of the time it's like she'll just like have sex with them and then move on. It's just a one night stand. The woman whose husband she sleeps with is one of the more like influential figures in New York City. I don't remember like what she like did, but I think she's more of like a socialite. And she sees that anytime she would go into a restaurant, people would see her and they'd be like, no, I'm sorry. If you're Samantha Jones, you can't come in because of what she did. And I mean, it was at the point where she had to like basically like surrender her own dignity and like was begging on her hands and knees basically to this woman like, please, like let me get back into these social circles, please. And I'm just like, you know what, girl, hell yeah. You know what, hell yeah. And I know later in the series she becomes like a lot more complex. Like I know about like the Richard storyline, stuff like that. Like I don't want to spoil more because I was about to do like spoil like a huge like life choice from when like in season 6, but I'm super excited to see how that goes. Another girl I kind of want to talk about is Charlotte York. She's complete opposite of Samantha. She's very conservative. She's traditional. She has very high standards for her men, and she clashes with the girls with this like throughout the series. I know there's multiple times where it's like Carrie's like coming to the girls for advice, and like Samantha and Miranda will say one thing, and Carrie's like, and Charlotte's like, no, I don't think you should, because she's such a hopeless romantic. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We love her. We love her for it. But she has her own priorities. I mean, she's an art dealer. She's very passionate about art, and I think that's really, really cool. And then she knows what kind of man she wants, but this also clashes a lot with like her relationship so far through the series. Cause like she finds like one little flaw and she's like, guys, I don't know. Guys, I don't know. And you know what, girl, hell yeah, me too. But she also there was this time where she got with like a celebrity and like it was like one of those like B-list celebrities and like we see an entire like 180 of this girl. I mean, like for a while she was like following him around like a dog. Like he called her the wrong name. It was I forgot what it was. I think it was like it was something stupid because it wasn't like close to Charlotte at all and it was like an olden name and she was like, "Okay, that's fine." And then I forgot what he said, but it was something like really like out there and she was just kind of like, "Yeah, no, I'm done." And we get to see the old Charlotte and I love her. She's very confident in like what she wants and I have respect for her for it. And it's hard for people to keep her values. And I mean like she knows that she's like a gem. She knows that. So why should she change that? And then someone else I feel like in the show who really like shows her values and like she knows what she wants is Miranda Hobbs. She's the most real one on this damn show. I don't care. She's an educated lawyer who's very career oriented. She's very different from the girls. Her view on men for most people would seem cynical, but I feel like it's the same with like Charlotte, where she's like she does have like some high standards because she's like created such a name for herself in this world that she's like, why should she like settle for less? I mean, people literally thought she was a lesbian in the first season because of her higher standards, and also she kind of looks like a lesbian, but that's okay. It's okay. But she just wants someone to like be there for her. And I feel like that's something that she didn't really get a lot in the show until she met Steve. Oh my gosh. He is a bartender who is head over heels for her. But like one of the main differences, and it was small enough that like we kind of realized why was Miranda almost like lowering her standards for him. Like he was really sweet. Like he genuinely cares for her, but she is so schedule oriented and their sleep schedules are so different. I'm like, he doesn't get home till late and like that's when Miranda's fully asleep. She had like a hard time fitting Brady into her schedule and like I don't want to say it as harshly as that, but it's true. I mean, what she wanted like is just someone to like love her during the times like she needs. I mean, she like tried. There's like a whole episode dedicated to her like trying to find like different ways to, like meet during certain times and it's like she just like couldn't after a while. And like another main thing that ended up getting in like her relationship completely was the pay gap between them and like the salary gap. I mean, Miranda wanted to finally make it official with him and was basically like, "Hey, like, do you want to come to this gala with me? Like, I can help you like find a suit and all that." And he's like, "Yeah, I would really love that." And when they get there, he realizes the suit's gonna be like so much money. And she's like, "Hey, I'll pay for it. Like, I'll pay for it." And like honestly, like it goes back to like one of those like standards for like men and women where it's like the men don't want women to buy, especially something as like expensive and like extensive as this, where it's like it was over $1,000 suit, I'm pretty sure. He's realizing that he has to like lower himself down to like have someone else step up and like that does something to someone's ego. And he originally like he pays for the suit, but like the night that she was getting ready for this, he knocks on the door, plainly dressed, and tells her, "Hey, by the way, I returned the suit. It's way too expensive for me." And she's like, "What? Why? Like, I told you I'd buy it for you." And he was like, "But it's not me. I mean, like, I really like you, Miranda, but it's like, ugh." And I hated it so much because, like, he really loved her, but he, like, had to end it because he was like, he realized there was no way for them, like, logically to be together at this moment because, like, his, like, ego was getting to him. And I mean, that happens to everyone, you know? I really liked Steve for her. I really did. But his, like, pride got in the way, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But, like, he solidified her thoughts, I feel like, of, like, never finding someone serious. I mean, this goes back to either late season 1 or, like, early season 2, where she buys her own house, and she realizes, like, the person who lived in that before her died, but, like, died alone. And, like, she starts, like, getting in her head about that, being like, I'm gonna be the single woman that dies while watching TV. And it's really sad. And I feel like because of that, like, she has to set like herself high, but then like she realizes after a while she can just lower her standards. But when she does that, she gets with a character played by Will Arnett, and the thing about him is that he likes having like sex in public places, and she realizes she's like, I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to succumb to this. I feel like Miranda and Charlotte especially, they have like that same fear. They have like the fear of like never being able to like find someone serious. I know like later in the series when Miranda gets pregnant and like Charlotte is like head over heels for her, but Miranda, like that was a mistake for her. Like she wasn't in like the right time to like get pregnant. And Charlotte was like, because Charlotte just like went through a divorce, I'm pretty sure, and she was like so many people would kill for that, and you're over here acting like this. And it's like they're both like two sides of the same coin. They're yin and yang when it comes to this. They're literally like they want something so much, but when they don't get it, it hurts. Then like we as like women, I feel like we always have that fear of like stuff like subconsciously drilled into our heads that like, oh, you need to find this, like you need to be career oriented, you need to be a wife, a mother. But, like when we don't get that, I mean, like it hurts. I mean, I know so many people like around my age right now who are either married, engaged, or pregnant. I'm 18. So many people from my high school are like that, or so many people that like I've known that are like a couple years older than me, like they're having all these like life events happen for them. And like for a while I was thinking, I was like, I can't get a boyfriend and she's married now. I mean, everyone's like on different paths for life. And like that is like the path that they've chosen for themselves, but I don't have to follow into that, you know? And like I feel like with this show, and especially with like Miranda, Samantha, Charlotte, they show like different kinds of women and like the vulnerability that we have and like the visibility like of these fears. And like that it's okay to like not be perfect all the time. But now for a figure I feel like I've wanted to talk about so much, because like every single time I watch this show and like she comes up on the screen, I'm like I like mentally start jotting down notes on how she acts, and that is Carrie Bradshaw. Carrie is a very controversial figure when it comes to mainstream media. I mean, she's like, the way she is, she's so spunky that like she gets branded as like kind of obsessive and obnoxious. She runs a sex column about talking about her and her friends like sex lives, and especially like the earlier seasons where it's like it seems like she just like goes up to random people and is kind of like, hey, by the way, like what do you think about this? And it would always be about relationship and sex. Like, I don't know, I don't see her like that, because I mean at most she's an unreliable narrator, but like it's her like column, it's her blog. Like what should like what do we expect? Like her to like tell like the full truth? I mean, she literally, like I said, she goes up to random people and is like, hey, by the way, like what's your opinion on this? Or like what's your like theory about this? And it's like, you go, girl. But I think because of that, because of like her spunkiness, so many things that like she'll write about herself, it'll end up just like it will end up being annoying. But like I don't want to say like she's relatable for me, because like the things I'm about to talk about, I would not touch this with like a 10-foot pole, but like she's honestly like she's relatable because she's flawed. Like she has these high expectations, but she won't admit it. But she's observant and she knows what she wants. Now, one of the main extensions of her personality is Mr. Big and being obsessed with him. But like let me start this off by saying I don't understand her infatuation. I mean, Chris Noth in like the earlier seasons of Sex and the City, he's back there for a reason, guys. But he like if we're thinking about this and like Carrie's job, it makes sense. I mean, okay, picture this. You see this dashing older man everywhere you go, and you have the chance like actually like get him in your grasp, and like you realize that he's very avoidant. I mean, like after a while, the way that like the show like looks, she looks obsessed with him. But like she's a journalist. She has a column about relationships. She sees this man with terrible communication skills and a strong avoidant personality. She has to have him. She has to know more about him. That's why she does the crazy shit as finding out who his ex-wife is, being able to talk to her, and then like finding out that, oh, they're on good terms. He cheated on her, but they're on really good terms. They're still like friends and all that. But then you find out this man you don't even know, he's religious. But then you find out, no, he's not religious. He just takes his mom to church every Sunday. But when you finally like confront him and he's with his mom, he doesn't introduce you. I mean, like, you guys have been going strong and steady for such a long time, but it's like, oh my God, he genuinely treats her like shit. That's the point I'm trying to get at, is that like, you cannot like put Carrie into like this bubble of being like, oh, she's obsessed, oh my gosh, when she's genuinely trying to form like a relationship with this guy that like won't tell her no, but like won't give her anything to go off of. So like, she has to do her own research. And I mean, the episode I ended up with, the reason I picked that is because that was like the episode where he said, Carrie, I'm going to Paris. And Carrie's like, you weren't going to tell me this? He was like, I was, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm telling you I'm going to Paris. I don't know when I'm going to be back. It's probably going to be like 8 months. She's like, what about us? I mean, he's like, I mean, I think we'll still be together. And he's like dodging this and not giving her a clear-cut answer. Then that entire episode, she's upset. I mean, she's thinking about this in a way that it's like, what am I supposed to do about this? Like, he won't talk to me. He won't give me anything. He's barely like giving me bait on this hook, but he's expecting me to keep going forward with it. And then like they finally talk about it, and she just has to realize, she finally comes to terms with herself that it's like, thank God that they break up. Like, and like the way that they do it is that she like initiates it, because like she's been obsessed with him this entire time, and like her friends are tired of hearing about it. Her diary's probably tired of hearing about it. Like, it's probably worn out because of how much she's probably writing about it. But like at the end of the day, it's someone that she loves, and she has to come to terms with the fact that he's a shitty person. But it's like, he strings her along, like, it feels unintentional, because like he, like, when called out about it, he's genuinely like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't do that. Yes, you did. But like, he literally Pavloved her. They fucking whistle. Like, oh my gosh, like anytime like he's calling her, she's at his beck and call. And that's bad. That's bad. That's why like we don't see a really good like vision of Carrie, is because like most of the like things we see about her is literally just like, oh, she's obsessed with this man. She's obsessed with the man. That's something that like is starting to become like a lot less like common in like these days. I mean, like a lot of people, they're like, yeah, I don't want to be obsessed with the guy. Like, I don't want to be obsessed. I don't want to lose my personality when I'm dating someone. But it's like with her, she's losing her personality, bro. But yeah, I feel like she wants something she can't have. And that's where her like mind is going. She's like, I want this. I'm gonna get this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, it's the theme of like saying, oh, he's just playing hard to get. And like, but it's like, we're seeing the other side of this, and it's not good. I mean, you're stringing her along, and like in theory, like basically ruining like part of her life. You're ruining her personality, man. And I just don't think like she realizes though that this is what's happening, because she's just like, this is like a cat and mouse game, and she's so okay being the cat chasing this like speedy little mouse. But it's like, it's bad for her. But I really do hope that like she gets some sense knocked into her the other seasons, but probably have to do that in the next episode. But thank you so much, you guys, for watching and listening, and yeah, I hope you really enjoyed, and hopefully more to come. Awesome.